what what's on your minds out there, world? Question I have for you guys today is actually a bit of a story. So a lot of times we feel uncomfortable in the places that we are and the things that we have going on in our lives. And so this little story might help you to look more at the positive. So yesterday I was draining my fish tank, and I learned a long time ago that on a 60-gallon tank, you're gonna want to drain it about halfway, because if you go past halfway, you're gonna have uh, fish in shock. You're gonna have the environment change. You're gonna have the things that you're going through change. Just give me a second. 40 psi.
40?
Yeah, psi all the way around.
All right, give me just a minute.
Thank you. And when you're when you're going through your challenges, a lot of times everything around you it fills it up, and a lot of the times, just like the ammonia has to be cleaned out, it's not all of it. And so sometimes it just takes a little bit, or about 50-50, or about 50% of it's got to turn positive, and then all of a sudden the water clears, and the challenges that you face off against start to become a little bit easier. And so in our life, sometimes that happens where we forget that it's just a little bit of changes that, will actually open you up to being able to overcome the challenges that you face off against. See, we see the tank, but we see it as dirty. Do we not see it as half clean, and that we just have to clean the other half with a little bit that we can do every day, the positivity that we could put out there, and the mentality that we can actually achieve our dreams and our goals. A lot of the times that the artistic ability inside isn't losing the ability, it's actually finding the ability inside of ourselves to believe in who we are. And and in that, giving ourselves that ability and that permission to start to do little things to fill our tank up with a little bit of water. See, it's not always the big things that are going to make a difference. It's the little things that you do on a daily basis that is going to open you up to truly achieving your dreams and your goals. Because ultimately, where you apply your energy is going to become a reflection. Where you put your time, your effort, your ability. All right.
Yep, that'll take care of it for you.
Okay, have a blessed day, okay?
You too.
And and it's not about what's going on around you. It's about what's going on the inside. And ultimately the exterior becomes that reflection, that you have to put a little bit of effort in, a little bit of time in, if you want to achieve your dreams. And a lot of us, we forget that. We forget that it's filling up that water just a little bit that can make a big difference. It can make a crystal clear difference if you put the time in, if you put the effort in, and if you put the ability in, just to be yourself. And a lot of people, they lose themselves, and in that place of losing themselves, they forget, right? So sometimes we forget about ourselves, and we forget about what would truly make you happy. And it's only going to happen when you clear that water, when you are willing to make the small changes, the small differences that nobody else is willing to do. See, I think that a lot of the things that we go through, yeah, but also, I had a customer in the car who, and I want to respond back to you guys. I want us to start getting this group chat going, and I'm really happy you commented that. We live in a busy world because we live in a busy world because we don't hey there, um, we don't take the time to write things down and take the responsibility for where we are. Good morning. And when we do take the time, we take the responsibility um, to study and to utilize the skills that we learned in school. See, a lot of us, we we go to school and we get all of this education, and then what is it that we put to work? What is it that we're putting out there? Are we using our artistic ability? Are we using our ability to be creative? Or are we letting this world dominate our being? And yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. When we're we're not taking the responsibility to be ourselves, right? And I could tell you, there's a lot of people out there that wear masks, and there's a lot of people out there who allow people into their airspace and into their place of business, of being, that truthfully shouldn't be there. Um, they shouldn't be there, and that's why a lot of people talk about the tree. See, the tree is the smartest thing on the planet. A tree does some stuff that nothing else does. See, when you do meditation, you find that sitting in lotus pose or the base pose strengthens your spine. When you're a baby and you're starting to grow, right? So like in the infant stage of self, right? Um, we forget we forget um, we forget that we have to stabilize ourselves, okay? And we forget that in stabilizing our being and stabilizing what we want to become, taking those first steps, they're difficult. And in finding the joy, see, what 2-year-olds have taught me, about, at least I know, at least for myself, studying our young ones has taught me a lot. Okay, I mean, I find that they see this world as big, and it's because they're experiencing things for the first time. And somewhere along the way, a lot of us lose that experiencing stuff for the first time. And a part of what meditation means to me, and this is part of the reason I ask myself this question every day, is what I'm doing today. Is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? Is because I want to make sure on a daily basis that everything that I am, everything that I'm becoming, is self. And we forget sometimes about that self, yeah? And sometimes we feel like we're allowing what we're going through is because of somebody else. But what truly is going on is you're becoming more of yourself when you let go of all the things that are not meant for you. See, when we're stuck on challenges, when we're stuck on negativity, when we're stuck on all of the things that aren't bringing us closer to being ourselves, ultimately, what we're doing is we're removing ourselves from the growth that we can have. And when we're not taking it into ourselves, that we put ourselves in that place, when we are not taking it into ourselves to where we're not accepting that I planned this months ago, that the ability to be right where I am right now was planned over a year ago. See, it's not that challenges don't come, it's that how we are able to utilize them. See, the tools that we have, they already exist inside of us. They exist in you and I and everyone on this planet. The ability to utilize them takes self-study. See, I've done 10 years of meditation, and my dad was recently in the hospital, and the lady, she said to me, who was there, she happened to be from India, her origin, and she said, "You know, meditation is from India." And I said to her, no. Meditation is self-study. Meditation is self-ability. It's the ability to allow yourself to study you. See, a lot of times we're taken into this place where we look at where our origin is, and that must be the only way. You know, that if everyone is a shoemaker, I must also be a shoemaker. And we are able to change our environments with our minds. See, there's a book, it's called The Science of Getting Rich. And what it taught me was that whatever you can see, you can achieve. And there's also another person who said this, Andrew Carnegie. And if you can't see it, if you can't write it down, if you can't put your mind into the place where you change the water 50%, okay, it's not the whole water that's got to be changed. It's not the whole water that's going to make you live. In fact, changing everything in your life can destroy you. So how can you change just a little bit? And that little bit comes in your mind. It comes from what it means to be you, and what it means to be, and what you allow yourself to accept and to utilize from within. And a lot of people will say, well, that's not easy. Well, why would it be easy? Why would you chasing after your dreams be easy? It's in fact the most difficult thing to do is to become focused. You know, I had a psychologist in the car the other day, and the psychologist that I had in the car, they said to me, you know, there's no such thing as multitasking. And the reason they said there's no such thing as multitasking is because you can only focus on what you have going on. You can only focus on what you're utilizing, what your mind is put towards. And so we only have to put that focus in place. And it's not that we're not going to have challenges that aren't going to come around us. It's what we're going to allow ourselves to become, what we're going to utilize, and how we're going to utilize our mind. See, meditation isn't with your eyes closed. That's considered breath work. Meditation isn't just the environment. It's to be in the environment, to be part of your whole entire being, to be aware of everything that's going on and everything that's going on the outside, that you might be able to just change 50% of that water. It's quite interesting that once you change that 50%, once you start to clear the water, all of a sudden the challenges become diluted. The things that were holding you back, that were stopping you from finding yourself, move out of the way. Just like that ammonia will move out of the way of that clean water, because a little bit of working on yourself, it goes a long way. A little bit of time of, I won't accept these type of challenges to be greater than me. See, I remember sleeping in my car, and I was washing my clothes by hand. And see, we're not meant to have everything perfect. We're meant to have everything the way it's meant to be for you, the way it's meant to work for you. When you can find a joy in that, when you can find a joy in the places and in the challenges that you're going through, to allow yourself to be the reason why you can overcome those challenges, then the challenges become your friend. See, I I think that a lot of times we don't spend enough time to prepare, and we don't spend enough time to put the effort in. And then when the pneumonia builds, or ammonia, sorry, the ammonia builds, what do we have? We have to clean. And a lot of times when we're cleaning our minds, we have to identify who's positive for our life, who's negative for our life. And it doesn't just happen on day one. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes ability to clean your mind, to clean your being. And when we're looking at others for the reason why we're having challenges, and we're not looking within to what we're allowing ourselves to go through, what we're allowing ourselves to face off against, then we don't see the blessings that we already have in front of ourselves. You know, I remember a story of something that happened to me, and that is that I was in San Diego, and all four of my bearings on my Prius were getting very old. And I took it to the shop, and I didn't have very much funds. And they was still working fine. And it was during the time of the government shutdown. And I was working to be able to make the money to put bearings on the car. And I was at home, and I saw a story. It showed a guy in a boat paddling out in a storm. And I remember going out during that time. And you know the most interesting thing, when a lot of people were scared, I was able to be there for them. See, when you're helping other people, when you're going through challenges, when you're helping other people when things aren't working the way that they would for you, sometimes they're not for other people either. Sometimes you might just be that positive force to change their being, to just because you came along, you know. And there's people out there that are upset because I'm alive. There's people out there who are going to let you down. There are people out there that are not going to be there for your best interest. And every single one of those people could become the reason why you are who you are. They could become the reason why you show kindness. They can become the reason why you manifest. When your being is truly you, when your being is truly using your challenges to uplift you, it becomes the reason. I've seen so many stories where someone's challenges ends up becoming the reason why they are who they are. And we have the choice, the conscious choice, to choose positivity. We have the conscious choice to choose negativity to prepare our minds, to prepare our beings. And one of the things that I got rid of in that process was Facebook. And the reason why I got rid of Facebook is because when I'm out there manifesting, what is it that we're programming our minds to achieve? What is it that you're out there doing on the daily that is going to bring you're closer to your dreams and your goals and your manifestations? And is sitting in front of Facebook going to do that? And I asked myself that question, and I had 1 million followers on the group, and I deleted it. You know why? Because it isn't about that. It's about putting your mind into the place where nobody else is willing to go. Nobody else is willing to put the time, the effort, the ability in. You ought to see the 200 plus podcasts I've put out. I've helped people in this life, and I'm still reaping the benefits of helping people. And if this message can just reach out inside of you and bring you to the place where you want to be a part of your life, where it might bring you to a place where you might want to manifest, that you might want to achieve your dreams and your goals, I'm here to tell you it's possible, but not in other people. It's already inside of you. And it won't happen when it's other people's fault. It won't happen when other people become the reason why you do things. It will happen when you become the reason why you do things. It will happen when you put the time, the effort in to prepare yourself to get the things that nobody else will do done. And it's quite amazing how your life path will find its way when you focus on yourself. You know, one of the things that I truly enjoy is that there's a lot of people that I drop off at rehabs, and when you lose everything, that's when you find yourself. When you are with nothing, and that one person does a bit of kindness, that it starts to become a positive force in your life, that you find you, man. And I mean, it kicked my tail to find myself. I almost died in the process of finding myself. I almost had a challenge so great look me in the face and ask me, is this what you're made of? And I'm telling you, it's up to you to find the joy in those challenges. It's up to you to find the ability inside of yourself to lift you up. It's up to you to literally manifest your being. And I find that on a daily basis, that is the biggest challenge that we have. It's not if we can do it. It's when. When will we put the time in? When will we put the effort in? When will we put the ability in to being ourselves? And you know, I think that a lot of what we're going through in this time and in this age is structuring the manifestation within our being. It's structuring the who true self is. And I'm excited for all that comes. Challenges that are here and challenges that are to be. And we are so blessed that our challenges are here to help us to grow. And I want you to see that as a reflection, and it's a part of who we are, uh, that we can overcome those things. Think of a challenge that you might have been through, right? And what it meant to you, and how overcoming that challenge at that time in your life was important. Um, I think that we sometimes feel like we need something, like something out there is also seeking out after us. Um, do we ever take the time to recognize that what we're seeking out after is also seeking out after us? What we're wanting to manifest is also manifesting us into it. See, not a lot of people look at the other side of the coin. They don't look at what we're manifesting is also manifesting us. See, we're not seeing that because you came along, this was able to happen. Because you came along, those challenges were able to be overcome. And that place is where I want to live. Like we can manifest our dreams, and we can manifest our goals. But who spends the time to write them down? Who spends the time to focus on what we're programming our mind to achieve? Who spends the time to study, to put the effort in, to put the ability in? You know, I think one of the best places I've ever learned was car sales. And what I learned from car sales is that there's a prep, there's a place of pre-message, of message, of process, of product, of ability, and of self. And that the most important piece is to be yourself. A lot of times we lose ourselves, we lose our being, we lose what we're wanting to achieve because we forget about ourselves. We forget about the part that being who you are is more important. That what happens, see, when people are in need of help and you help them, they find a way to help you out too. And when your mind is held on positivity, when your mind is held that I'm going to make a conscious decision to be positive, that I am going to make a conscious decision to not allow negativity to be what I'm seeking out after. When you make that conscious decision, then it's not about what's going on around you. It's about what's going on inside of you. And losing everything more than once has taught me that. Losing everything just so that what is meant for you will open up. Just so that your essence of your being. And a lot of people, as you're going through your challenges, things aren't going to go well. You're going to fail. And it's inside of those failures that you have where true success is built. It's inside of those failures that you have that true ability is built. And I don't know about you, but when I face off against challenges, I look at for how. For how. What I mean is, how is this going to help me to grow? Is this part of my life going to be the greater part of my journey? And what I mean. And one of the hardest things that we have to learn is to identify positive and negative in our lives and to allow negativity to move out of our life. And what are some of the ways that we allow negativity to move out of our life? Are we listening to people that are going to uplift us? Are we listening to the people that are going to bring us closer towards ourselves, to our own expression, to our own being? Or are we moving farther away uh, from our dreams and our goals? What is the people that we are allowing to be in our lives, are they there for a minute, an hour, a month, a year, or years? See, the closest value that you have is those that are the closest to you. If they're not uplifting you, if they're not bringing you closer towards being yourself, then at some point something is going to change. And it's up to you to take the responsibility for that and to not put it on somebody else. It's not easy to be ourselves. It is necessary to be yourself. It is necessary that you find you. I'm pretty happy with what happens when challenges come my way, because we are not meant for them to stop us. We are meant for them to help in our process of growing. We're meant to let them become a part of our journey. Let them become a part of what makes you you. And I don't know about you, but oh my goodness, man, like it's a blessing to be here on Monday. And it's kind of interesting because our shorts are starting to gain traction. Our short, the shorts that I'm putting out there, I have about 1,000 views so far. And every day that I have the ability to get on here is a blessing, because we're not all just sitting at a desk. Some of us are sitting in a car. Some of us are out there in our environments. The ability to face challenge doesn't have to stop you. And I think about all the people across the globe who listen and support motivation, meditation, inspiration. I think that you all are very special. I think that I know that there's many that are going to come into your life. I know that there's many that are going to try to uplift you. There's going to be many that are going to try to tear you down. And they're going to put excuses around and wrap them around what they want you to become. What do you truly want to become? What is it that if you do these things, then you will be reflecting from yourself? And what are some of the things that nobody else thought of was that we would have to go inwards, that we would have to uh, take the time out of our day to start thinking about our own activity, our own being. See, when everything was taken away during this pandemic, it restructured everything. What it did was it brought people that uh, forgot about self-study to the place of self-study. It took them to the place where self-study became more important because they didn't have those positions to go to. They didn't have those jobs. And during that time, there was a lot of people who made a lot. They made a lot of funds and a lot of changes in their own being. And it's quite awesome to see what happened, because what happened actually was growth. It wasn't a negative. It was actually a positive thing that happened, because with that growth, a lot of people had to open their eyes. They had to open their eyes to what they were doing, what wanted to see, what, and it's kind of interesting. I know, at least for myself, I had a relationship end during that time because what wasn't meant for me moved out of my way so that positivity could move in, so that self could move in. And when you allow yourself to be you, it opens up a part of who you are to what you didn't think was possible. And it asks the question, if you lost everything today, what would you be? Who would you be? What would you seek out after? What would you want if you lost everything today? What do you have? What do you got? Okay, now we're taking away your job. Okay, now we're taking away your ability to go places. So what do you have now? And you know what? A lot of people, some of these motivational speakers out there, they say, got it. It's time to study on myself. It's time to put the ability in, put the mentality in. You know what I spent the pandemic doing? Studying meditation. You know what I spent the pandemic doing? Helping other people. You know what I spent the pandemic doing? Growing. And a lot of people, they didn't spend the pandemic doing that. They spent the pandemic saying, poor me, instead of seeing how this can help me, how this can become one of the best things that ever happened for me. And there's a lot of people out there who are ahead because they took that negativity and they spring and launch themselves forward in life. They launch themselves forward in ability. And there's a lot of people that lost a lot because of their mentality, because there were businesses that succeeded when others would fail. There were people that succeeded when others would fail. There were people that had challenges that they didn't know that they could overcome, and they overcame them when other people would face off against them. See, I was in the top 10 most complimented food delivery drivers in 2021. Wait, the pandemic was going on, right? I was homeless in 2019. So I listen to these motivational speakers that say, look, It's not a problem that your challenges come. It's a problem that you don't get yourself out of your challenges. It's a problem that you don't prepare your mind for them. It's the problem isn't that you have challenges. The problem is that your challenges can't overcome you. You can overcome your challenges, but you have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in your ability, in your mentality that what challenges you're facing off against are going to be overcome. And it's so funny as I like watch, like it'll go 1, 2, 5, 3, but it's okay. It's all right. It's this. It's just what challenge are you facing off against today? What things are you going through that we can work through together today? What are some of the things that when you hear this message affect you? And see, these are the types of things that go through my mind on a daily basis. Like, can I get on there? Can I help people? See, I don't want just my story to be for me. I want it to be a story that inspires. Failed there. What is he gonna do now? How is he gonna achieve that? Ooh, oh my goodness! What the heck? What? That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a ability to have a mentality that, you know, you can go sit in the park and that you can create content that when other people listen to it, they go, did he really say that? Did he really get on there and go, yeah, I can achieve my dreams. I can achieve my goals. I can do it even if some other people tell me it's not possible. You know, my favorite reason to do something in life is when other people tell me it's not possible. My favorite place to be inside is with oneself. Like, I mean, when we're at the point where challenges no longer stop us, when we're at the point where what's going on inside is becoming our best friend, when we're not just held back by the challenges that we're facing off against, then we're starting to achieve dreams, you know. I don't know what to say to you guys except we're out here together. We're out here to experience this life, to come to this planet to help one another. We're not meant to tear each other down. We're here to be a part of a greater purpose and honestly a greater path. I'm not held back by challenges. I'm not held back by what other people will call me or say. You know, I care more about the legend that's left behind. I care more about not allowing ourselves to be in those kinds of environments. And sometimes you're going to find yourself asking yourself, what does it mean to be you? What does it mean to be who you are inside? You know, I don't want to be anything other than me. I don't want anything other than what's meant for me. And a lot of people, they don't like that. A lot of people, they don't don't want to achieve that kind of mentality. It's not always easy. Necessary. It can be, it can be possible to achieve your dreams. It can be possible to achieve your goals. And a lot of times we don't even see it. We don't even know what we're possible of until we lose things in life, and then we're always looking for the answer on the outside until one day something happens and you start looking inwards. That little part inside of you says, I can't. I won't allow myself. It's quite amazing how many of us we say that what's possible, and there's no way to for it to not be possible. You see what I'm saying?